Because in '85, he's a young man, right? And so, of course, now when we meet him, he's the president of one of the most powerful countries on earth. He was still very warm, genuine. Like when he first saw my parents, you could see the twinkle in his eye. I moved here in 2013. I mean, if you think about where is the most exciting place on earth to live right now? I mean, it has to be China. Absolutely. You know, made a better life for its people has been really impressive. And then my children, I never thought would grow up in China because of the hospitality and the welcoming friendship that my mom and dad showed to strangers. In 2012, the phone rings. It's my mom, and she says, "Do you remember the Chinese people that stayed with us in 1985? And I was like, "No, not really." And she's like, "Neither do I, but you know what? One of them is going to be the president." And so, of course, you know, because this is 30 years later, and you have to clear out your mind, and then they took out their old albums. They started remembering everything from that visit, and you know, of course, then they have all these memories.
1985年，时任河北正定县委书记的习近平，率玉米考察团访问艾奥瓦州，并到马斯卡廷考察当地农业和畜牧业。首次访美的习近平曾在德沃切克家里借住过2晚。
That's when he came in 1985 and stayed in my house, and my mom and dad and sister were there, and obviously that's Xi Jinping. So I was 21. My brother and I were both in university, so we had the empty rooms. Then my mother was able to say, yes, of course, you know, we'll host the group. And so we had Xi Jinping and the translator for the group. They came on a delegation to learn about agriculture, but it broadened to asking a lot of questions and learning a lot about American life. So that their number one thing that they remember is that he was inquisitive, curious, wanted to know, wanted to ask a lot of questions, learn as much as he could while he was there. It was like a huge cultural learning.
2012年2月15日，时任中国国家副主席的习近平再次访美，他又专程来到马斯卡廷，会见当年的老友们。早已搬到佛罗里达州的房东德沃切克夫妇专程赶了回来，参加这场时隔27年的老友聚会。
欢迎您回来，老房东。Landlord, thank you. 你好。我记得住在你们儿子的卧室里，我记得你们还有一个可爱的女儿。她问了我很多好奇的问题，比如你们有没有看过美国电影啊？当我说我看过这个梅丽尔·斯特里普演的《猎鹿人》以及《教父》以后呢，她感到非常诧异，说你们看过这么多美国的电影。我记得在你们家呢，你准备了丰盛的早餐，但是嘱咐我们说，不希望把你们喂得太胖。临走的时候呢，你这个亲自做了爆米花送给我们。这个当年的那些印象又重新浮现出来，因为你们是我见到的第一批美国人，使我这个形成对美国的印象，就是来自于你们啊，所以对我来讲，你们就是美国。
In fact, when we had dinner with my parents and with the first family, the first lady said, "I've been hearing about you people my whole life. I finally want to meet you." So it's something that she was quite aware of, like how important that period of time was in the president's life. So here's our group photo.
2015年4月8日，已经成为中国国家主席的习近平邀请美国房东德沃切克一家共进晚宴，也正是因为这一次，让房东的儿子盖瑞·德沃切克见到了当年住在他房间的那位中国朋友。
当时吃完早餐，你要带着女儿去上班和上学。我们说到门口照一张相。
When we moved to Florida, we lost a lot of our pictures.
No gift was necessary. Just the gift of his time and his friendship was more than we could Photography is the thing of the day. So.
我们选的也是一些照片作为
非常好，30年的友谊，你看现在。
And we had, we were there about 2.5 hours. He was asking about, the president, how his life had developed, asking questions like how he met the first lady, things like that. So it was very much a warm gathering of kind of a reunion after so many years. So we see him not just as a leader making a speech on TV, but as like a real human being. During when we had the dinner with him, one of the questions we asked was, what did he want to accomplish during his time as the president, and what did he want his legacy to be? And he made the really good point that, he knows what he's doing is important, but at the same time, he understands the thread of history, and that, in a country that's been here for 5,000 years, he's gonna play one little step to improve China in a long role of improvement. And so, he was very modest in the sense of he's a patriot. I mean, he loves China, he loves his country, he devoted his whole life to this country, and as a leader, he cares very much about what happens. And the fact that during his presidency, China hit this point where they can say, there's nobody living below the poverty line, it's a huge accomplishment, something that he should be very proud of.
2015年9月17日，德沃切克一家的房子被作为中美友谊屋对外开放。
I think it's great because it really, the house. So it's now called the Sino-American Friendship House. It can be a very positive and symbolic way for people in America to really learn more about China and learn in a positive way, and to really have a way to know so many of the good things that China's done for the world, and so much of what Xi Jinping has done that has been good for China and good for the world.